Salve galera, Slasxy na área, trazendo aqui pra vocês então nossa parte 16 de Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. E bom pessoal, eu dei uma mexida aqui no meu PC e a princípio vai dar uma melhorada aqui nos FPS, tá? Eu até aumentei tudo agora, tá tudo no Ultra, tá? Só que realmente não entendi o que aconteceu no game ali, pô, ele caiu muito, foi pra muito baixo mesmo nos FPS. E espero que não volte mais, mas eu acho que era por conta daquela neblina que começou a bugar o jogo ali mesmo.
Uou!
Pra dar continuidade no episódio, vamos pegar o livro da garota aqui.
Good to see you. Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift. By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favorite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
Actually not.
That's too bad. I think you would like it. And perhaps even learn a thing or two.
Why do you think so?
I just think you might find some common ground with the author. Not in
Yeah,
absolutely
absolutely.
everything, of course. That's just not possible. But in basic matters, I believe you'd agree. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
Uma boa.
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. What should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
Well, being a man myself, a man, I suppose.
Why not? And what kind of a man is he?
You mean I have to think up a name?
You don't need to, but try to describe him so I can better imagine him. With a single word, even.
Mas tá chovendo aí dentro, cara, que porra é essa?
Now, there've already been enough heroes, saints, kings, and martyrs. So an ordinary person.
That's 2 words, but I'll forgive you. And do you want it to be an ordinary villain or an ordinary do-gooder?
Make him a do-gooder. But he can also have some bad traits to make it believable.
Very well. And what kind?
He could make fun of people, but not know when to stop. I know many people with the same bad habit.
Sure, why not? But in the end, his jesting should save him from punishment. So it ends well. I like those stories best anyways. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Have you ever seen a heron? Imitate one.
A heron? Well, maybe like this?
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward.
Dessa forma não.
So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
Que isso. O quarto dela é totalmente bugado.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings. Easy, easy. Nice and slow.
Of course. But
Whoa, whoa. I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
Don't delay me. I'm in a hurry.
Suit yourself. But I'm warning you. If you give that kind of lip to Sir Ulrich, you'll be coming out through the door head first.
Glad to see you again.
you have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
How about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
Are you trying to annoy me? You might have dug up some dirt on me, but I have connections. One word, and you won't live to see the dawn. I'll get you into the assembly. But that finishes things between us. Understand?
Oh. All right.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today, from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
I'm sorry. Huh? Oh, it's just you, eh? Aha.
Sacra!
Where do you think you're going?
God,
That's right. But if anything's gone missing here, then you're in for it.
are you whistling?
Damn it! I'll have a look to see if I've been robbed.
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Slow down, idiot! Don't you see I'm walking?
What's that?
You almost ran me over.
No último episódio, pessoal, basicamente eu só vendi, tá? Vendi as coisas, umas coisinhas que eu tinha no inventário. Simplesmente tomei um banho ali. Lavei minhas roupas ali e tal. De boa. Ah, na área, né? Que eles falaram, né? Área de ferro. Espera que fique enchendo a cara.
I'm sorry.
cara.
say you're just mad. But the old man just isn't up to it anymore. He wanted her to stop pestering him, so he made a deal.
Vou pegar as roupas aqui, né?
Vegetables! Mushrooms! Come and get some fresh mushrooms!
Tem as roupas de garçom do rei.
We've got... What'll it be?
What do you have for...
Não é aqui provavelmente nessas roupas. Possível ser aqui.
Maybe next time.
Careful!
Meter aonde aqui, cara?
Blessings to you.
Eyes like no other. Apple.
You're surprised?
Come and take your picks! You wear!
Belts from the finest leather! Leather water
What would you like, sir?
I hear one Franta cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
You're too late. Franta already came and picked up the goods. You just missed him.
Show me your wear.
fair prices, fine wear.
Nope, Saigon.
Área de ferro tá aqui. Olha aqui.
Good day to you.
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council, and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Well, to tell the truth, I'm not exactly an expert.
You're off to a great start, but whatever. If you make a mess of it and the king has you whipped, you've no one to blame but yourself. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you, and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly, or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. Take care.
Bier ist besser als Gold.
Was möchtest
Ele mandou eu fazer apresentar lá no bagulho, né, cara?
Come and take your pick. You wed?
Who couldn't keep his hands off other people's locks and purses. Gather...
Franta cooldown, Sembi. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here.
We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on.
So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have one at all. Without a tunic, you're no royal waiter, just a common alehouse boy. And have you forgotten your hose? I can't let you into the chamber without them. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide
everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. So, are you prepared?
Nossa.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Unversüchlich. Our current Waffenarsenal is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
A full cup of monastery wine.
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
I apologize,
Hand
sir.
cannon. Can
Which
you
one?
believe it?
Red.
Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when
Good, sir.
outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And
Thank
Herr
you,
König
Waiter.
surely knows this too.
Vindo do monastério.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty
I'd like some
helmets.
monastery wine.
And who
Refill
is it
my
you
cup,
want to
boy.
fight? Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not
Monastério
be
é pra já,
here
senhor.
forever.
Shut up!
Monastery
The king can
wine.
arrive at any
Here.
moment.
Sir?
What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the
Well,
biggest
thank the
silver heap
Lord.
in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our
Eu não vou
armory.
tirar vinho de ninguém, não.
The
Só
king is
Pour me
surely
red
aware
wine.
of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just
Monastery
wait with
wine
arms
here.
crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the
thank
king
the
to bring
Lord.
order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the
My
state
cup
of the
is
public baths.
empty.
You mean baths or
Pour me some wine.
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not
Be glad
what
I
it
can
should be.
hardly sit
The current
upright.
baths in the
Otherwise,
city fall far
I'd go
short
for
of
that
covering
white
all the citizens'
myself.
needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a
Be
protege
glad I
of
can
Mara.
hardly sit
Her efforts
upright.
are
Otherwise,
commendable, but I don't
I'd
think
go
she
for
will
that
succeed.
white
I'd like to
myself.
It takes a firm hand.
Do you see
Soft,
that?
feminine fingers.
Even the waiter is having a laugh
You
at
were
us.
complaining there weren't enough baths.
Te dá mais vinho não, cara. Ele é o do vinho,
Something
né?
like
Não pode
this
ficar
is
dando.
better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend, bathhouse proprietor Adam. The need for cleanliness
More wine,
and
Master
citizens'
Bailiff.
health should not be underestimated.
nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Who is going to wash where and how? Is a waste of...
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's
silver might this
earthly
be.
paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
I apologize, sir.
He can hate all he wants.
Which wine?
As long as he does no damage.
That's the white.
Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit! You know full well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any
Where's
time
my
now.
white?
That's right.
Caralho, não dá pra pegar o vinho,
The
cara?
anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself? Me? I beg your pardon. I
wine.
demand that you...
I'll be right back.
Ruhe!
The wine.
Franz, please
I'll be
continue.
right back.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that.
wine.
Just a small misunderstanding.
Right back.
We've sorted
wine.
it out and everything's set.
I'll be right back.
My
The
ears
wine.
must be deceiving me.
I'll be right back.
Are you defending
wine.
Rutard?
I'll be right
Besides,
back.
if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Where's my white?
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble.
Sir?
He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the
Well,
king...
thank the Lord.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything
Are
like
they
that,
only
did
just
they?
pressing the graves for the Tokai? Really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you. But there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom
Waiter,
to us.
get me
It's now
white.
run by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse
I apologize, sir.
without a
Which
shred
one?
of proof.
White Tokai!
We're not some old fishwives on the marketplace.
Good, sir.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished
hang
by
around
the
me.
bailiff.
Vanish,
And that's
you hear
that.
me?
There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way.
I apologize.
We'll soon be the laughing
Refill,
stock of
sir.
the whole
Do you think I come to the council just to guzzle
Rest
wine?
assured, the
Come
whole
here.
town is already laughing at us all day long.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Uma, duas. Umas 13.
Put down the picture and... So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to Slasxy, right under our noses.
Hey, waiter!
Just the village with the
Pour me
monastery,
some Kai.
and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band of parasites. You pay them, they come late, or report sick, and if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Adam, don't interrupt the proceedings with your drunken ranting, even if you are in the right. And as for you,
and a full
haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do you? And
Good.
what would
Now
that
run
be?
along. Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
When hell freezes over, mein Freund, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me?
Deu rei pela primeira vez, cara. Cadê o rei
Hey,
que não
I
chega?
boy,
think not.
a full cup of monastery
Excuse
wine.
me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided.
Come now, waiter.
And still
I want it
provides
red.
to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying
Thank you,
equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells
toma
from the
vinho, hein,
Elders on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this
Essa mulher não tá trabalhando não, velho.
because it has all
Isso
been
tá trabalhando.
sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Nossa, vai chegar o rei. Que eu não faça merda aí, velho.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
personal Juchegase, Alegiop Tetonaikat, Ishkelkinek Utra.
Cê é louco.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of fights!
Nossa, aí fodeu pros caras, nós estamos tudo suave. Cê é louco. Não compensa.
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
roupinha melhor, cara.
God bless.
God be with you, friend.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Henry's done a few things I'd like to give him a slap or two for. But like they say, to err is human. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
But how do you expect to reconcile their approaches?
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh. I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted, but they never broke my spirit.
You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
I'm not going to die. Suicide.
friends. We'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health. And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here? I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of... That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that? I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering. Is that so? Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you. It depends what it's all about. A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings? That's a weak word. And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that. Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace. We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army. When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop. Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage in equal force on the battlefield. But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace. And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction. Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst? More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win. Why are you doing all this anyway? Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne. You've got an interesting way of approaching things. You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment. I'll help you. What exactly should I do? I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst. Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with. Certainly. Who do you want to start with? Botchek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him. That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back. Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor? He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him. Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name? Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot. I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek, and he's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
Martin likes to exaggerate. He was talking about the sorry nags even when they belonged to someone else.
Nags? What nags? These are the best thoroughbreds east of Prague.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopry to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Vai de base também.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man. Oof. Not bad for a priest.
What's wrong with your legs?
No, you don't.
Swing with your whole arm,
who
not
taught you
just
that?
your wrist. Look
They
in my
teach you that in the
eyes,
seminary?
Not at my sword.
That was
Left
sneaky.
arm lower. Stand firm. Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse.
Not bad for a priest. Show your stuff.
Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through!
Sacre! You're fast.
You don't know which end of that thing is up!
Enough! That will do.
Good job, easy.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord!
Exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Burgers. Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutan.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
I'd be honored to oblige. I'm in my prime.
Forget about it. Even if by some miracle you could manage to sire children, you'd die before you could raise them.
The truth doesn't offend, my lord. But I had to give it a try. How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks.
Job's done a nightingale. He looks more like a wet hen to me.
It's quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage for his final performance. I hope there'll be no singing. I've had a few nightingales, and they all screeched like the devil.
Be careful with those groschen, my friend.
What is this about? Oh, nothing. And all...
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Butchek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Butchek of Kunstadt? The Butchek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you! And to your parlaying skills!
Why we mustn't push too hard.
Burgers for trip. Sir Butchek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Agora chega de bebida, né? Nós vamos de vala, eu quero pior que esse cara aí.
How are you getting on so far?
Aside from the happy family reunion, everything is going according to plan. Thanks for asking.
I'd almost forgotten about that little detail. But fortunately, it wasn't too much of a fuss.
Father is getting old. There were times when he could keep yelling at me half the day.
Keep it up. We've still got a lot of work to do. Just don't overdo it with the wine. No one takes a walking wineskin seriously.
Ixi, já era. Já tô trincando o melão.
God be with you.
Vou dormir pouquinho aqui. Não tá de dormir, não?
I'll be right with you.
Ein Bier bitte.
Ixi, já era.
Mind where you're going. Mein Gott. Wo liegt das Problem?
Tem uma poção aqui.
Was ist denn los? Ein Bier bitte.
Sir Kunzlan, I haven't yet had the pleasure.
You're Godwin, aren't you? I've heard about you from Martin.
Oh dear.
Have no fear. I know Martin well, and I know he's prone to exaggeration. Anything I can do for you?
Will you support Margrave Jobst's plan?
That depends on what it is. If he decides to just wait, then no. I can't take that risk any longer.
Do you think we should look for help somewhere else?
I came here for one reason alone. To hear a plan of attack against Sigismund. If Jobst doesn't lay one out before me, I'll try and find someone more courageous.
What do you think of the rabbi's offer? The Kuttenberg Jewish community is large, and their support could change everything.
Or nothing. To be honest, I've no idea what to expect of the rabbi's offer.
He said he was interested in an alliance, though, didn't he?
Aye, but still he must be aware that whatever happens, it won't change the lot of his people.
So you don't trust him?
And isn't it natural? It's not just faith in the walls of their quarter that separates us. They live in our city, but they're more foreign than the Germans or the Hungarians.
I expect you know Lady Anna of Waldstein well.
Why wouldn't I? She's joined at the hip with my daughter Rosa.
I hope she doesn't feel unwelcome here. I've heard she's a bit of a thorn in the side for some of the gents here.
To her own relatives, certainly. But I'll tell you one thing. I knew her husband Wenzel, and he married her out of love. And I cared for him devotedly till the day he died. And it wasn't a quick death.
So it's not true what they say? That his demise was convenient for her?
Vile slander. People just can't forgive her for coming into a fortune as a young widow. Be with you.
Shit.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, One of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No, no. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harmon Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Tá só servindo vinho, ó.
Take a look at that. A nightingale.
What brings you here?
What are you whistling for?
God bless.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right. But just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there. What brings you here?
Que doideira. Jogar os dados com ele aqui, né?
We'll see whose side luck is on today.
Já ganhei aqui, já ganhei.
It looks pretty bad, eh?
Isso. 3, 4, como é que já...
Like this. Here. Alright, that'll do.
Como tu acertar isso aí, cara? Nossa, que cagada, hein, mano. Vai jogar mais uma? Louco, velho, enlouqueceu. Ah, não pode ser.
It's yours.
O cara jogou todos os dados, cara.
Here. Alright, that'll do.
Caramba, olha esse cara, mano.
That'll do me. Roll.
Aí não tem como. Eu sou o número 4. Aí me dá muito bem. Não, eu caguei. Ah tá, continuei, deu boa. Tinha feito merda já.
Well, you're not afraid of anything.
Você tá com sorte hoje, hein? Nossa.
Alright, that'll do.
Você é louco.
Finished. Your turn.
Com certeza acabou, né, cara? Aí a baixaria que você fez. Opa. Uma pena, eu vou perder, de certeza.
Excellent! And the money goes to me. I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
I'd like to, but I'm afraid I've had more than my fill already. I wouldn't want to cause a scandal.
Wise. No matter, I shall drink a toast alone. But to your health.
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear plan. But maybe you were right. It was probably not the best idea to gather all the lords under one name.
At other times, I would celebrate hearing you admit a mistake, Margrave. But if I were you...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Vixe. Quem pode se fuder, cara? Às vezes não tá
Lords
bem,
Kunstadt,
calma aí, cara.
Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Era o que tava lá naquele acampamento dos Kumano agora.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way. Forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swillpot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargents, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is new to you. To your health, Margaret.
Os caras bebem igual água, mano.
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of it.
White it is. Quickly. If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
You? Such a good son.
Greeting. You hear that Lord Constance is arriving on Lord of Kirkstein.
I should. Stulturen mater, sempiter gravida.
Oh, the piglet! Ah, fuckings for beggars. I'd rather eat well.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows. Touching. Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only, there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
Strong words. I thought your Alishka was brown-haired, though.
Hey, Mick. Where are we supposed to keep watch outside the gate today?
Ah, I am...
I'm filled with grease. The roast is falling out.
I am...
To be eaten.
Not...
How'd you like our wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels? Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence.
Baron Vaku Voku. Damn it. Your name is unpronounceable.
Bet you made it all up anyway. I would just call you.
Esses caras tão tudo podre, velho.
And a tail. And I say it's a horse. But if you got a different idea of what a horse is, I will have it.
Having a good time?
He's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food,
Even a few females worth the same.
I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Well, let's have a game then. But for what?
For coin. What else?
10 groschen of my worldly wealth, then.
Quite rightly. Honor your vow of poverty and turn out your purse.
Nem pra ver mais os dados.
Good day.
Que isso, é como que esse cara tá pensando desse jeito? Nossa, aí acabou. Vai fazer 1500 do nada. Vocês é burro, cara. Perdeu tudo. Opa. Perder tudo desse jeito. É muito sortudo mesmo. Vai continuar, cara. Que loucura é essa? É doido.
Good day to you.
Good day.
Os caras são foda. Que isso, moleque? Aqui acabou pra ele. Acabou, meu amigo.
Not you.
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that?
All hail Jobst. He sorted out things here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our castle Potstein, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
Deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you.
It's easy for you to say. You don't have to listen.
Good to see you. No pony.
Gracious, you couldn't think of a fancier name?
At least you can tell by the name that the horse is immensely valuable.
It depends. Oh, and we all agree that the name Bushava signifies stretching. This won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You farmyard beast! Maybe I should have some spice.
Phallus, anyway. But now, Bucephalus.
May I interrupt you for a moment? You already did, didn't you?
What's the matter?
One of the most esteemed guests ordered more wine. Where might I find it?
All over the place. Are you blind?
I meant the really fine wine. The kind that Martin Udran would drink.
No way. Sir Martin ordered for it to be served only to him and a few of his favorites.
Have you seen the state he's in? Tomorrow, he won't even remember what was agreed here today. Anyway, he'll never miss one jug of wine if it disappears.
All right. Them pictures are on a table in the cellar. But you didn't hear it from me.
Now off you go and leave us alone.
Anyone can run straight.
Ah, you're wrong. In a battle, your life depends on your steed.
Everybody likes a drop of white. But the rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of your fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Cê é louco.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Nossa.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Bora guerra. Só bora que é guerra.
Still can't quite do that.
Oh, I'll be done with you in a flash. You're off. Let him have it.
It's a wonder you're still standing.
Caramba! Você é louco, cara. Como que eu jogar isso aqui? Não tem como ganhar isso aqui não, cara. Eu perdi o irmão, perdi tudo. Nossa, é muito difícil. Vou jogar essa batalha aí, cara.
Jesus! The surrounded Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
Take that fucker out! Nice hit! Kick your asses! Right on the
Nice strike. I'll be done with you in a flash. Yeah.
Aqui, aqui, aqui.
Don't spare. Let him have it.
He knows how to sword.
To me! Get him from behind! What now? Send my blade to stay still standing! Good! Useless! Show your stuff! That's right! Drive those horses out!
I'll slice you up! That won't work on me!
More coming!
Show what you're made of!
Make a fool of yourself!
Que merda, hein? Caramba, cara, achando que tá tudo dando certo. Nossa, cara, viajei, né? Eles estavam indo mesmo pra lá já, né? Vou indo o mais rápido possível pra tentar ajudar ainda. Mas que eu acho que o pessoal no caminho, cara. Consegue fazer alguma coisa, será?
Go! Die!
Opa. Vai, 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 vai.
Light him up! I'm bleeding! Wanker!
Yeah!
Let him have it! Do you call that?
Show what you're made of!
Show your stuff. Nice strike. Nice hit.
Once more! We can go home!
Vai morrer, cara? Caramba, cara.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't. They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher.
Well, at least it was over quick. No, you almost took Hinnock of
Nossa, aqui é dinheiro infinito agora. Nossa senhora. Cara, eu vou pegar só as melhores coisas aqui. Vamos saquear, pô, isso aí mesmo. Vamos saquear, gente, saquear. A armadura desse trouxa aqui. Tem que usar a cara aqui com ele, cara.
God's punishment or not, brought it upon themselves. Watch, he's as greedy as a pig. Hinnock is... Well, no.
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
There we are. My temper lost his life. They put enough arrows in him to knock down 3 light. What about your horse?
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe
My Tempest lost his life too. Put enough perils in him to knock down 3 lightning.
What about your horse?
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he's alive. Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are eating on him already.
Poor animal. Handsome, young, sturdy.
Well, at least it was over quick. No,
Mas morreu que foi nobre. Os caras tão bem zaço, hein? Pô, eu falei, vou pegar pra mim, eu acho. Porta de malha. Arrumar 2 milanesas, que isso.
One construct captured, the other off on the rush.
E o saque rola solto. Ornamentado, olha. Isso vai dar um dinheiro. Cara, sorte que eu consegui, que eu vim com o meu cavalinho, cara. Eu troquei de cavalo antes. Pesado eu não vou levar não. Espada militar é mais barato. Pô, essa roupa aí, cara. realmente é muita coisa. Vou pegar só o melhor do melhor. Quanto dinheiro, cara, ficou no grupo dos caras.
I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Loucura.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll come back. Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already. Poor animal. Handsome, young, sturdy. Well, at least it was over.
So, you almost took Pinnacle of Poop.
That dry devil is as tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
Cara, é tanta coisa que parece que tá até voltando. Então tá respawnando mais coisa no corpo dos caras, né?
God's punishment or not, brought upon themselves. How about this?
Eles usaram os corpos ali já. Enquanto isso, nós aqui, luteando. 37.
I've been taking care of animals all my life, and they'd never do anything like this. No. Only men.
Asa de capitão.
When Jobs finds out about this.
Acabei ainda, nós vamos achar o portão lá. Esse daqui. Ó, saquear. Saquear todo mundo. O cara até acorda de uma coisa disso aqui, né? Cara, aqui eu tô milionário, cara. Acho que abastece uma cidade. As coisas mais leves possíveis. Isso nem aparecer, cara, enquanto é que você tá levando de peso. Você tá levando nada, cara, que delícia. Muito bom demais. Vou tudo pra lá. De capacetes. caras aí.
If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Owlet surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. Young Oderin, Anna of Volstein, and several other nobles are dead. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. Very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join. So many dead men.
You did.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us. Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Bora que bora.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Let's go then.
Borek ata Adonai Eloheinu, melech ha'olam.
Peresh, can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy, then use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got healed up so nicely today.
Oh, that is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Enough with the talking. Can't we really go any faster?
Just hold on tight back there.
Nossa, o caminho era longo, hein? Nossa senhora, tomara que dê tempo, cara.
What's the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right into those murderers' arms.
But how do we get into the town then?
We will go through Sheol.
There are many abandoned mine shafts under the town. One of them ends here.
Won't it collapse on our heads?
We'll find out soon enough.
Follow me.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
I would be happier if we could do without it.
We all would, lad. But it has been decided as punishment for our many sins.
Our sins? Ours? What the fuck did we do to these people? Halt! I heard something.
Eu vinha com essa velha de bala, cara, desse jeito aí. Eu vinha que vai de berço, mano, aí. Cê é louco. Não compensa. seguir eles aqui, que senão pô, vai demorar um caramba.
We should split up here. Me and the rabbi will go this way to the shul. We have to take the Torah and warn everyone. What about us? You keep going straight ahead and then to the left. You'll get right to the King Solomon Tavern. Gather up all the secret documents and wait for us. Shouldn't someone come with you, just in case? How about Kubienka here? Henry and I can handle it.
Well, if you insist.
Was that all the content you could muster up?
Well, good luck. We'll see you up there. We have to go this way. Hopefully we'll find it quickly. I left a stack of my papers in the tavern. And if they fall into Sigismund's hands, people in other towns will die too.
Do you think we're gonna make it in time? To find the papers? Save the people?
I pray we can, Henry. There's nothing more I can do. Hopefully everything will be all right at the tavern. The stash is locked away, and Samuel's friends are guarding the place. But who knows what the situation is like in the streets now. It's strange all the same, isn't it? Hundreds of people must have dug this tunnel. Years of hard labor in the darkness. The effort, the suffering. And today, God willing, we'll save a lot of folks suffering thanks to it. Damn it!
What's the matter?
The door leading up to the tavern is open. Samuel's men wouldn't have left it like this. Somebody else must have got in.
I think there's someone walking up there.
Go and check it out. If they took anything down here, they mustn't get out alive. I'll gather up my things in the meantime. I'll meet you outside the tavern.
Que merda tá fazendo aqui, seu?
Why the fuck do you serve Eric then? If you're scared shitless of him.
What do you expect me to do? Go up to him and tell him I'm leaving?
Aye, that ain't a good idea. I knew a bloke who tried that.
And what happened to him?
I don't know, actually. I saw him go to... What do you want? Show what you're made of! Take that!
Os caras são uns vermes, cara.
Baruch Hashem, Henry. You're all right.
Sam, you're back already? How does it look outside?
A few of the cutthroats got in over the walls, but we dealt with them. But there are more outside the gate.
4 of them were here in the tavern too.
Fortunately, they didn't take anything important. But your friends paid for it with their lives.
What?
I'm so sorry. If it's any consolation, Henry here has already taken care of those cutthroats.
But they didn't look like they just came to the tavern by chance. Eric must have sent them. What about your mother? Is she all right?
She is, thank God. I told her to get ready, and we would come for her right away.
I'm really sorry about your friends. We got here too late.
There was nothing you could do. Benavis Hamartes. This Eric is really pissing me off. I've never laid eyes on him, yet I cannot wait to wring his neck.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. We have to go now.
I'm sure Mama is waiting for us. We have to take her to the shul.
You go ahead. I'll lock the tavern and block the secret passageway so no one else can get in.
But sir, if any more of them come here,
I can take care of myself. Now go. God be with you.
Tá bom com esses caras aí.
I have to help him. Bring Ma here.
What's the matter? Where's Sam?
Don't worry, ma'am. He sent me to take you to him.
Mein Gott, what happened to him?
Nothing. He's out on the street helping the wounded. Let's go now. We're out of time.
Wait! Who are you anyway?
Não interessa.
My name is Henry, and I'm a friend of Sam's. I was the one who warned him Sigismund was coming for you.
Thank you. I just hope we can escape before...
Watch out! More are coming! Run to the back, it might be safer there.
What's going on?
Sam, are you all right?
I'm fine, but we will talk when you are safe. Now run!
We have to get to the synagogue. But how?
Through the backyards. Follow me. Watch out! They're shooting at us! From the ramparts! Get rid of them! We have to keep going. Through the yards. That is Judith and Lev. Can you help them?
Let him have it! Hey! Help! He's too much for me!
You'll be fucking sorry!
I cannot...
Thank you, lad.
Cidadão, cara, eu nem vi, só ataquei. Pareceu cidadão ali, mas estavam enforcando a mulher, cara.
We cannot get past the wagon. We have to go this way. Through the house.
Us? You won't get me! Come on, come in. Do your worst.
Mummy, are you all right?
I'm fine. But what about you, man kid?
I'm still alive. We can talk later. Now, we have to go.
Come on!
What the hell?
What is it, fuckers? Rather slaughter women? And the defenseless?
Isso que o Bianca ficou, cara.
What's going on up there?
Bora. Eita.
Go inside. Quick. To the fucking task.
I've never been so glad to see you two.
In need of a helping hand, are you?
No, I just don't want to die here alone.
Nossa, chegou a cavalaria.
There they are. Well, now we're really fucked.
Mustn't get inside. We have to hold them back. For how long, though? As long as we need to.
Vou destrar meu casaquinho aqui, pô. Arrumar um casaquinho.
Bastard is mine!
Take that, Khamer!
Hey, get him! Nice strike! Take that fucker out, damn it!
Send my greetings to the devil!
Bleeding like a stone pig! Let him have it!
Now you're finished!
Nice! Fuck that!
Smash your other arm. Good. I still can't fight you. Smash him on the head. Fire if you can. It's a wonder you're still standing. Fight him off.
You'll kick the bucket, you shit! Ah! You'll pay for that! Kill them!
Smash him on the head! Drew blood! Yeah! Nice! Smash your chest! We'll kick your ass! Give me!
Yeah!
No! That's enough, bastard! Take that fucker out, damn it! Smash your other arm! Smash him on the head!
We'll rid this place of you, scum!
That must have...
Yeah! Don't spare him!
Yeah! Nice strike! We'll pay for that! Fight him up! Right, you son! Shoot blood! Yeah! Die! Nice hit! Nice strike!
True blood!
Está na pica, velho.
Come on! Everyone's inside! Henry, come on! Let's go!
Acho que ia pegar ela.
God more me. Let's go. It's this way.
Damn. That was a close shave. I reckon I should go to Samuel's mother
Then talk to her about Martin. I won't get another chance.
Deixa quieto.
Just leave them here like this.
There's nothing we can do now. We must get the wounded out of here first.
Are we just supposed to bury them by the side of the road?
Look at it. All ablaze.
Even if that happened.
Are you alright?
I'm fine, lad. I thank you for everything.
I know this might not be the best time, but... do you think we could talk about Martin?
What? You know my Martin?
I do. He's, well... he's my father.
Bore Hashem.
I mean, not actually by blood. But he raised me.
Meins is kindele. Tell me, how is he?
He died. It's only been a few months.
Oh, the hen of Shutzurara, it's Roy Hayem.
Sigismund burned down my village. Pa went to help Ma and... well... they both died there.
I am sorry to hear that, lad. But that is the Martin I knew. He always put others first. At least you survived. That would make Martin happy.
I'm sorry I don't have better news to give you.
Do not worry about it. I am just sad he died before he could meet Samuel.
Is everything all right?
Yes, do not worry. We were just talking about Martin.
How did you meet Martin, if I may ask?
It was such a long time ago. He wanted to open a blacksmith shop in town, but there was no place among your people, so he tried his luck in our quarter.
And that's where he met you?
The rabbi gathered the good men so they could decide whether we wanted to have a goy blacksmith. And Martin wouldn't stop looking at me all night. Then it went schlag auf schlag.
So what happened that made Martin leave you?
My Martin would never leave me. My father found out we were seeing each other and did his best to drive him away. To marry a goy is isur deoraisa, forbidden. But Martin would not give in, and we kept seeing each other, until one day, I was ubore.
That means pregnant.
Yes. My father knew that if word got out, he would not be able to avoid the shame. So he did not miss a beat and took me out of town in secret. I did not even have time to tell Martin the news. I was gone for almost 4 years. In the meantime, my father told everyone that he had married me off. But my husband died. And he only let me come back when he was sure people had accepted it.
Did Martin not go looking for you when you suddenly disappeared?
People said he did go looking for me, even as far as Colin. But he did not find out anything at all.
If only he had gone all the way to Prague.
Even if he went to the very edge of the world, it would not have been enough. Father would have hidden me somewhere else.
And what about you? Did you ever find another man after that?
No. My father called me a widow. So I stayed a widow.
And he didn't try to find anyone else for you?
You know he did, but it never worked out. I made sure of that.
And did you ever go looking for Martin?
I asked around, but no one remembered anything. Or they chose not to. That was probably my father's doing too. And I could not just leave and go looking for him around the world. I had to take care of Samuel. That was the most important thing.
All right. That's about it.
Before you go, tell me, what was Martin like as a father?
Well, he was strict with me, but not too much. Especially in the forge, he worked me hard. I dream about him quite often. About that last day and what he said to me while we were forging a sword together. He said a life of adventure can be over before it begins. And that blacksmithing might be a dull job, but I keep my head on my neck.
He was absolutely right.
Well, look at me now.
You saved all our lives. Martin would be proud of you. He raised you well.
I'm sorry to keep you this long, but... well, I never thought I'd have a brother, even if not related by blood.
Well, I did not expect that either. And thank you, my almost brother. If it was not for you, I do not know how today would have ended. What are your plans now?
I'll go back to the Devil's Den. To Zizka and the others. We need to figure out what to do next.
I will see you there then. But first, I have to escort everyone to Colleen. I do not want anything to happen to them on the way.
Everything should be all right now.
Take care of yourself, dear brother. I will see you this time tomorrow at the Devil's Den.
Have a safe journey.
Sei gesund.
Isso, pessoal. Muito bom. Nossa, que episódio, hein? Mais um daqueles episódios marcantes. Muito obrigado a todo mundo que ficou até agora no vídeo. Agradeço de coração. Olha o cubinho aqui. Deixa o like, se inscreve no canal, ativa o sininho, rapaziada. Obrigado a todos. Slashão na área. Valeu, falou.